Okay. I see Vaibhav has joined. Hi, Vaibhav. How are you doing? You can just type in the chat box real quick, like hey or hi. So I know that you're there. And Hiba has also joined. So hey there, Hiba. Hey there, Vaibhav. How are you guys doing? Um, it'll be like much easier. Yeah. Hey, Hiba. How are you? How are you doing? Let me know real quick. And whether if you're there, if you could just like acknowledge in the chat box. And Hiba, I'm glad that you're doing well. We'll just wait for like all of the other attendees to join as well. Meanwhile, let's have a conversation. And hey, Vaibhav, how are you doing? Okay, so quickly to both of you, could you tell me which grade you're studying in? Could you tell me something about yourself as well? I would like to know. Let's start with which grade you're studying in, right? So that I understand, what your age is and stuff. Let me know in the chat box, guys, which standard you all are studying in, Hiba and Vaibhav. I'll wait till you all type it in the chat box. And since you've joined today's webinar, I am guessing and hoping that you all are looking forward to SATs. So yeah, Vaibhav saying grade 10. Okay, Vaibhav, now is like the perfect time to start, thinking about what you want to do with your future. No pressure, obviously, but I think if you're looking forward to give SATs, grade 10 is like the perfect grade to, start preparing for your SATs, because almost half of the portion of SAT syllabus does come from grade 10. So yeah. Meanwhile, Hiba, could you just answer which grade you're studying in? Guys, let's just have a casual conversation. So it'll be like easier to get to know each other. Also, Vaibhav, let me just ask you real quick. Are you preparing to, give your SATs, or are you looking forward for SATs? Hiba is saying you're writing finals for grade 12th. All right, Hiba. So I'm pretty sure you must have, already are on the path of deciding what you want to do with your future since you're in grade 12. So I think, yes. Hiba, could you tell me what's the one dream school that you want to get into, or dream college? If I say, or if I ask you, what is Hiba's dream college? What would the answer be? Let me know in the chat box. Meanwhile, Vaibhav, if you want to tell me, if you're looking forward to SATs, and Hiba is saying you don't have one, it's all right. I'm pretty sure you are going to be on the path of choosing one. This year, I'm planning to write this exam in August. All right, Vaibhav, perfect. So you're planning on giving your SATs in August. And what about Hiba? Hiba, are you planning to give your SATs? Same. Cool, guys. So if you could let me know, like, you are planning to give your SATs in August. So I'm pretty sure you all have started preparing and stuff. Have you all looked into, which college you want to get into, or like basically what colleges accept SATs and stuff? Do you like have a brief of what SAT stands for and what the examination is about? Let me know in the chat box. Let me make the question a little easier. What I'm trying to ask is, do you all have a brief idea of what SATs are? Like, obviously you're giving it in August. So, and Hiba saying yes. All right, Hiba. So since you are planning to give your SATs, any particular, no, maybe not if college, any particular country that you want to apply to? SATs are accepted in US, they're accepted in Canada, in UK, any three. Hiba is saying the US. Okay. Think everyone first chooses US. So yeah. And what about Vaibhav? Which country or which college do you want to apply to, Vaibhav? And meanwhile, guys, we'll be starting our webinar in like 5 minutes. So we are waiting for like other attendees to join. But if there are any questions, I mean, I am having a conversation with you, but if there are any questions from your side regarding SATs or regarding other stuff that you want to ask, colleges, admissions and stuff, you can type it in the chat box. Whether he's saying India, IIT Hyderabad. Whether I am not sure if IIT Hyderabad accepts SATs. They used to accept SAT subject tests, IIT Hyderabad, but SAT subject tests have been discontinued since the past year. So, okay. Okay, Triple IT Hyderabad does accept. Cool, Vaibhav. I thought they did not. All right. Triple IT Hyderabad, any particular field whether that you're looking into for Triple IT Hyderabad? That's a very good college, by the way. Triple IT Hyderabad is known for amazing faculty. Computer science, perfect choice. Triple IT Hyderabad, I think it's known for astrophysics. It's known for computer science. It's also known for IT and electronics. So yeah, good choice. I am glad that you're still in grade 10th and you're already focusing towards which college you want to get into and what field. So yeah, plus computer science has like amazing scope. There's a lot of opportunity since the world is moving towards the digital space. So yeah. What about Hiba? Any colleges in mind, Hiba, at all? Since you said that you want to get into US colleges, you all have any doubts regarding your universities or regarding your admissions? No doubts. Okay. I think Hiba is pretty sorted with what she's doing. Cool. Vaidehi, any doubts that you have regarding admissions? Guys, it can be like anything, right? So basically, if you have to have a conversation about it, college process and admission process is kind of like a lengthy one. There's a lot that goes into specifically for Hiba, since you're looking for US universities, there is like, first you want to apply, then there is SOPs, there are SAT scores, there's profile development, then you have to give the visa interviews. So it's like a really lengthy process. So all the best, guys. And whether you for Triple IT Hyderabad, I think Triple IT Hyderabad does not require SOPs and stuff, but Triple IT Hyderabad does require a very high SAT score to get into. It is a competitive college in India. So yeah, and Hiba US universities again are extremely competitive universities. Most of the famous universities in the world are located in US. So you have to, and make sure that you all have like an overall profile development, right? So academics or your SAT scores contain only like 50% part of what you provide to the college. But specifically for abroad education, if you're looking for SATs, there's like a list of things that the college look into. Except for your scores and your academic performance and your GPA, they do look into extracurriculars and sports and volunteering work, internships, all of this to help build the profile. So just make sure that you have both sides to it. Where he's asking what school do they accept? For getting into Triple IT Hyderabad, where you will have to get an SAT score of 1480 plus or 1480 above. The total SAT is for 1600, and you will have to score 1480 plus, because Triple IT Hyderabad, a lot of students specifically from the Gulf do apply for it. So yeah, the competition is high. And the same goes for US colleges as well, Hiba. To get into like a very renowned US college, if that's what you're looking forward to, they do require a score of 1480 to 1500. But if you're looking into like state universities or government-owned universities abroad, then a score of 1400 plus can also be sufficient for your admissions. Meanwhile, guys, we'll be starting our webinar in about a minute. So if there are any questions regarding SATs, regarding any particular college or what the process of that college or admission is, you can ask it in the chat box and I'll be able to answer it for you all. So I'll give you all like a moment to just, I don't know, type in your questions, anything at all that you would want to ask. Okay. No questions, guys. All right, so I think we can move forward with our webinar today. So yeah, we are already on the introduction slide. Yeah, thank you so much. So welcome everyone to our webinar today. And today we have Lalita ma'am with us. Lalita ma'am is an engineer and an MBA postgraduate who is turned into an academician with 25 years of experience in the field of academic training. And she has more than 7 years of experience in training SAT, IELTS, GRE, and GMAT. She has trained thousands of Indian and international students to go study abroad in their pursuit of achieving their dream college. She's also conducted corporate training in written and spoken communication skills for several of the esteemed MNCs and private organizations, and has also designed content for the same. She's also designed many books for which she has been awarded appreciation for excellence in corporate training. She's been rated a 5-star tutor at Urban Pro, and she is here today to give you a glimpse of everything that we offer at Leap. Having said that, I welcome you, ma'am, and hope you guys have an amazing session with us.
Hello, hi everybody. I hope you can hear me loud and clear.
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Great. So I'm delighted to be here with all of you today. Can I see some highs in the chat box, please? Oh, thank you, Hiba. Hi to you too. And hi, Vaidehi. Hope you're doing well. So hello to everybody else out there. How are you all doing, first of all? How are you all doing? Very well, good, great. Okay, now my next question is, what are you doing? What are you up to these days? What are you doing these days? Studying for finals, okay. Anybody else also studying, swatting? I'm not surprised, that's what most people of your age are doing right now. Okay, great. So, so Hiba and others, since you are studying, I'm going to ask you a question connected to your studying. Okay. What do you need to do to score well in your school exams? Okay, great, Vaidehi. Studying for unit tests. Okay. So what do you need to do to score well in your exams? What do you need to do? I mean, it's a very common question. So what is your perspective? What is your answer? What do you need to do to score well? I'm waiting for your answers. Practice, yes, absolutely. What else? Anything else along with practice, apart from practice? Okay, I have some answers here. I'm just seeing, wonderful, understand the context, work hard, superb. And I think most of your answers are tallying with the answers I myself have got. So shall we take a look at my answers? Understand the content. Perfect. Hiba, same pinch. Okay. And what else do I need to do? Work hard. Why they he? This is uncanny, unbelievable. We've got the same answers. Okay, great. And look at this girl. I hope your faces are not like this when you're working hard. Okay. And do you think it's important to know the exam structure? Do you think it's important to know the exam structure? What do you think? Yes. So if I know what to expect, I definitely can do a much better job. Okay. And is it important to be calm and relaxed? What do you think? Is this also an important part of doing well? So do you meditate or go for a walk or play with your pet or something? Yes, yes, Hiba. Okay. So emphatic in your answer. Perfect. Now I have a question. Are these enough to do well, or do I need something more than these? I think I put pretty much summed it up, right? Do I need anything else apart from these? Wouldn't it be great if we had some? Okay, I've got some mystery word here. Can you guess what else we could have? I mean, would help us if we had it. Any guesses? This is your class. I'm waiting for your answers. Vaidehi, Hiba, and others. What else do you think we would really could use? Okay, I'm going to give you the answer. Wouldn't it be great if we had some magic? What do you think? Would you like some magic? Okay. So we are going to meet a person now who can provide that magic for us. Who do you think will provide magic? You can relax still and answer these questions before we jump into the SAT content. Who can provide magic? Any guesses? quickly. A teacher, that's so nice of you, Vaidehi. I like the way you're looking at this whole question. Okay, so yes, probably teachers can work magic. Many things can work magic, but I was thinking in particular about the magician ourselves. Perfect, Hiba, yes, but with a little help from Harry Potter, right? I'm sure all of you, or at least some of you, must have been Harry Potter fans, must have read his books, watched movies. Yes? Yes, that's great to hear. And what's he saying? Well, he's saying expecto patronum. And what is that? That is a spell. You know better than me, I'm sure, being Harry Potter fans. So what's expecto patronum? It's a positive energy force. Now, students, I want to ask you, do you think positive energy, positive outlook, positive thoughts help us during our exams? When we are preparing during the exams themselves? Yes, definitely, right? So wouldn't we like to add some positive energy or charms or spells for our exams and especially for the SAT? Definitely, right? So we are going to now arm ourselves. What do you mean by arming yourself? You're going to equip yourself with some useful charms which will help us when we need them in different SAT related situations. What do I mean by different SAT related situations? I mean, the SAT is just a test, right? So what kind of situations am I expected to encounter? Well, you know, the SAT has a reading section or writing and language section. Even if you don't know, you will soon know. So there are different sections in English, and there are two parts in math too, a calculator section and a no calculator section. And different situations we may encounter in these different parts of the test may need different strategies to deal with them. What do you think? Do you agree? We cannot have the same strategy to deal with everything, every situation we encounter on the SATC. The SATC is stormy at times, it's smooth at times, okay? So there are easy, medium, tough questions. So the more you know about the SAT and the better you're equipped with some useful tips. That's what I'm going to call the tips. I'm calling them charms. We're definitely going to be better armed or better equipped to face the SAT, right? So what are we going to do now? We are going to look at in this session, not one charm, but 7 tips, okay? And at the end, there is a small surprise tip, which is also of immense value. So are we ready to go on this magical journey? Yes? If I see one yes, I'm going to start. Thank you, Alia. Hi, Alia. And thank you, Hiba. So we are going to start. Okay, now it's your class. So the questions are for you. The first question or the first tip from Harry Potter is, when should I follow strategy? What do you mean by strategy? A strategy is a set of tools which you will use whenever you encounter that particular situation for which the strategy is given. Okay. So strategy is a particular step-by-step process. So when should I use strategy? Should I use strategy on easy questions or on difficult questions? What do you think? On easy questions or on difficult questions? Easy questions. Why, Hiba? Why do you think we should use it on easy questions? What do I do with the difficult questions then? I want you all to think. It's food for thought. So when should I follow strategy? On difficult questions. That's a logical answer. But actually, what if I say both Hiba and Vaibhav, both of you are correct? So let's see when to follow strategy. Now, students, the best way to understand what I mean by this tip is to look at an actual SAT question. So I do not know how many of you are familiar with the format and structure of the SAT, but here on your screen, you have a question from which section of the SAT? Does anybody know? Is it the reading section or the writing and language section? What do you think? Reading section. Very good. This is a question from the reading test. So what I'm going to do now is let me take a look at the question. Okay. I'm going to read the question. As used in line 32, observed most nearly means. What is the meaning of the word observed? Observed, what does it mean? I want an answer. Yes. What does the word observed mean? Observed means to watch something, to notice something. Can I say noticed? Yeah, I observed it. I noticed it. Yes. So what do we do? Oh, wow. Okay. Hey, look, I can see the word, which means exactly what observed is. So I get the answer and I move on. So am I right to do this? No, that's not the way to do this question. Then what should I do? I should not think this is such an easy question. All I have to, I can see observed here, I can see noticed here, and they match. And I'm going on to the next question. No, that's not the way to do it. So what should I do? I should follow strategy. Okay. So what is the meaning of strategy? Yes, Alia, I'll come to the answer. Here the stress is, the focus is on the strategy. So first of all, what kind of question is this? This is called a vocabulary in context question. See, not only are we looking for the answer here, we are going to learn something about how to handle certain questions. Okay. So first step is, as used in line 32, observed most nearly means. I've read the question. I have to translate it into an actual question, into a question with a question word. What is the question asking me? What does the word observed mean? Not from the dictionary, but in line 32. Okay, great. So I've made it into an actual question. What should I do next? Go to line 32 and underline this word and read the sentence. So what are they saying? Why are they using this word observed? I have to read at least one or two sentences before and after the line in which the word appears. Okay. So what is this person saying in this sentence? But I do mean to say that although bad laws, if they exist, should be repealed as soon as possible, still, while they continue in force, they should be religiously observed. So this person is saying bad laws should be withdrawn. Repealed means withdrawn as soon as possible. However, till they continue, what should you do with them? Should you ignore them? What do you do with laws generally? Yes, Alia and others. What do you do? What are you supposed to do with laws? You're supposed to? What are people supposed to do with laws while they exist? Follow them. Perfect. So this is my word here. I have not seen the answer choices at all. I have got this word by reading the sentence and from the clues in the sentence. While the laws continue in force, they should be religiously. Here, what is the meaning of religiously? Strictly, faithfully, properly followed. It has nothing to do with religion at all. Okay. So there is a lot to learn from the SAT. So they should be followed. Fine. Okay. So I have made the question, read the sentence, replace the word given with a word of my own based on the clues in the sentence. Now I go to the process of elimination. Process of elimination. So how do I do that? Does noticed mean followed? No. Does scrutinized mean followed? What does scrutinized mean? What is the meaning of scrutinized? I want answers. What is the meaning of scrutinize? To examine something, right? To check, to examine. So yeah, inspect. Perfect, Hiba. So does scrutinize means follow? No, it doesn't. What do you mean by contemplate? Hiba, Alia, and Vaibhav, and whoever else is there. All the silent spectators are invited to please join in. Contemplate means thinking deeply. Perfect. So to think deeply. So here, does contemplate mean followed? Of course not. So does follow means follow? Yes, followed means followed. So D is my answer. Now, this was it a difficult question? Maybe not. But if you are in a hurry, yes, if you are in a hurry, remember, you have to answer 52 questions in 65 minutes and you have to read long passages. So you may be fatigued and you may not really follow strategy. What you may do is look at the word notice and jump to conclusions, thinking that this is a very easy question. Well, it is not a difficult question, but I have to follow strategy on all questions, whether they are easy or difficult. Whatever question looks deceptively easy, you may get it wrong if you are complacent. What do you mean by complacent? If you take things for granted, relax. If you're too overly relaxed, what you may do is you may just take notice and go on. So do not think that strategy should be applied only on difficult questions. Whatever be the question in front of you, apply the strategy. Now, what I listed out as a step-by-step process, it is not necessarily a long process. It sounds like that when I tell you the steps, but they are all going to happen in a matter of seconds. You read it, you make it into a question, go to the passage and remove the word, ignore the word given, replace it with a word of your own based on the clue in the sentence. Compare it and eliminate the answer choices which don't match. Whatever remains is the answer. That is the strategy for vocab and context questions. So the point of this slide is follow strategy on all questions, easy, medium, difficult. I'm not going to decide and evaluate the complexity of the question, the difficulty level of the question. So where should I apply strategy? On which questions? Please answer. On which questions should I apply strategy? One answer, all questions, perfect. Now Harry Potter says you've got that tip clearly. Let's look at another tip. Okay, now students, have you ever got stuck when you have taken, like when you took or when you've taken or when you were taking a multiple choice question test? Have any of you got stuck? I don't know what to do. All the answers look right or all the answers look wrong. I don't know any of the words. Yeah, so you have faced that situation. What should I do when I face such a situation? That is the second tip that Harry Potter has for us. Let's look at a question. Okay. Now, again, this is a question from the writing and language section. I have shared here an excerpt from a passage. What do you mean by excerpt? A small part from a passage. Okay. So here I have, how should I do this question? So there are 4 steps. The first step is to read the sentence with the underlined part. First, I read the sentence with the underlined part. Fine. So shall I go ahead and read? Yeah. Now, actually, what is SAT asking me in this question? There is an underlined part. What is SAT asking me? It's asking me whether I want to keep it, retain it, or replace it. If I feel the underlined part is fine, I'm absolutely fine, it sounds good to me, I will choose answer choice A. If I feel no, I would like to choose one of the other answers, I will replace it with those, and that is going to be my chosen answer. I hope that's clear. So now let's start doing this question. The first step is to read the sentence. So I'm going to read it, and I would like you to read it along with me. So let's start. This approach increases sales, but it also stands in austere contrast to a time when goods were produced to be durable. Okay, how does that sound to you? I'm not able to decide. I don't know the meaning of austere. Okay, I don't know the meaning of austere. What is the next step? The next step is to compare answer choices. So let me look at the answer choices. Are they better than austere, egregious, Oh my God. Unmitigated. That's worse. Stuck. I've heard that word somewhere, but I kind of know it. I'm not sure what it means. So I am not able to decide whether I want to replace it or retain it because I don't know the meaning of any of these words. So what should I do in this situation? I want your suggestions. What would you do, students? What would you do in this situation? I'm waiting very eagerly for your answers. Let's assume you don't know any of the words. You may know some of the words, but what would you do in this situation? I'm waiting for at least one answer. What's a good strategy? What should I do in this situation when I don't know any of the words? Any answers? Any guesses? Okay, Harry Potter has an answer here. Guess. So what should I do? Am I audible? Class. Okay. So you have to guess and move on. Why? Is it good to guess on the SAT? Aren't you supposed to know stuff and choose answers? Well, the SAT, I told you, has questions in all flavors, easy, medium, and difficult. And a question can be difficult for me. It may not be for you. So when I find a question undoable, what do? I just guess. I put the best possible. I just guess a letter of the day or the best possible answer I can choose here and move on. The point is, I don't spend time on questions which are undoable for me. I don't waste time. Why should I not spend time here? Do you think if I keep on looking at these words, I will get enlightenment and the meaning is going to appear to me? No. Do I have access to a dictionary on the SAT? No. So the best thing to do when I don't know what to do in a question is quickly guess, move on, use that time on other questions which are easier for you. There are easier points available for you, waiting for you a bit further down the line. Did you understand that? Now, what exactly are the meanings of these words? What do you mean by austere? Any guesses? Does anyone know the answer? What do you mean by austere? Austere means? Is anyone going to answer? Austere means rigid, severe, very simple. I mean, without anything, any luxury or comfort. Okay? Am I audible, students? Because I'm not seeing many answers. Can you hear me? Please type a yes. Yes, thank you, Vaibhav. What do you mean by egregious? Egregious is a sounds horrible word. It also means really bad, terribly bad. Okay? Okay. So this means very severe or without luxury, simple. What does unmitigated mean? Unmitigated, oh my God. Each word seems worse than the other. So unmitigated again means absolute, without any relief. But this word is usually used in a negative context, like an unmitigated disaster. That's a very, very common word which comes with unmitigated is disaster. And okay, so does it say austere contrast? No. Egregious contrast? No. Unmitigated contrast? Absolute sounds good, but I told you unmitigated is used in a negative sense usually. Stark. What do you mean by stark? Stark also means absolute or total. Okay. And stark contrast is actually the right word which you have to use with contrast. So what is SAT actually asking you here? So after you read the question and compare answer choices, you have to figure out what SAT is asking you. What is SAT actually testing here in this question? Now I want answers. What is SAT testing here? Testing you on. Yes. Students, what is SAT asking you here? What is it trying to check? What skill is it testing you on? It's testing your vocabulary, right? So I figured out what the question is testing. It's not just asking me for the dictionary meaning here. It's asking me which word goes well with contrast. So I have to decide whether austere contrast, egregious contrast, unmitigated contrast, or stark contrast. And stark contrast is the correct answer for this. So you eliminate the wrong options and come up with the right answer. So what was the takeaway from this question? What should you do when you're stuck? What should you do when you're stuck? Sit and fight with that question? Say, let's see who's stronger? Certainly not. What should you do? Please answer. One of you, any one of you. What should you do when you're stuck? Yeah, Vaidehi, are you there? Alia, Hiba, what should you do when you're stuck? You should just guess and move on, okay? And that's what we are going to do. We are going to move on. Shall we go on to the next step, please? Okay. Now, look at this. Sorry. Which questions should I analyze? I mean, which answers? Like this is when I'm doing a practice session, a drill, or a test. After the test, we do analyze questions, right? Do you or don't you? Do you all analyze your questions and answer your responses after a test? We do. Great, Alia. So which questions should I analyze? The ones I get right or the ones I get wrong? What do you think? The ones you get right should be analyzed or the ones you get wrong? What do you think? The ones you did wrong, right? That would be a logical, commonsensical thing to do. Now let's see whether Harry Potter has something different to say. Okay, so let's look at this question. So I told you the strategy: read, compare answer choices, figure out what the question is testing you on, and eliminate the wrong answers. 4-step strategy for writing and language grammar questions. So I'm going to read now. The high number of Omicron variant infections are due to the fact that this variant is more transmissible than any of the other variants to have come before it. Okay, I can see an underlined word. Okay, sure, it sounds right to me. Should I just choose A? No, I should compare the answer choices. Okay, so what is changing in the answer choices when we compare them? Are, is, were, have been. What are these words? What part of speech are they? What is changing in the answer choices? Are they nouns or adjectives or verbs or adverbs? What part of speech are these? They are all verbs. And what is differing, students, among these verbs? What is changing in these answer choices? Are, is. What is differing? What is the difference between are and is? Number, singular or plural. And are, is, and were. What is the difference? What's changing? The tense, right? Perfect, yes. So tense is changing and number is changing. Figure out what SAT is asking you. What is SAT asking me? Which verb do I need? Do I need a singular verb or a plural verb? Do I need the present tense or the past tense? So first, I have to identify, okay, which tense do I need, students? Do I need present tense or past tense? Looking at the sentence itself, I need the present tense. Can I eliminate any answer choices here? I need the simple present. I can eliminate C. Okay, great. Now, is and are both are present. So obviously, the SAT is not just testing me on tense, it's also testing me on subject-verb agreement. Subject-verb agreement. What does that mean? Which verb agrees with the subject of the sentence? Choose the verb. That is what the question is testing me on. Now I have to find the subject of this sentence. What is the subject of this verb are? I have to ask who or what to the verb. I'll demonstrate. What are due to the fact that this variant is more transmissible than any of the other variants to have come before it? What is the subject of this sentence? What is the subject? Any guesses? I'll be very happy if one of you answer. It doesn't matter whether the answer is right or wrong. Don't hesitate. What is the subject of this sentence? What are or is due to the fact that this variant is more transmissible? The high number, very good, excellent answer. The high number of Omicron variant infections. Now, is this singular or plural, the high number? This is the subject. Is it singular or plural? High number. Singular or plural? This is singular because number, right? This is the high number is singular. Great. So what can I eliminate here now? I can eliminate all the plural verbs. I can eliminate A and I can eliminate D. Right? So what is my answer? My answer is B. So this question was testing me on two things. Now, was this a difficult question or an easy question? What do you think? Was this question difficult or easy? It was not very difficult. Would you agree? So maybe you would have, like, you got this question right very quickly. Just read the high number. Okay, high number is singular. Maybe you just chose B. But even this question, which you get right very easily, should be analyzed. Why? How will I analyze a question which I got right? Let's see. So every question, whether you get it right or not, should be analyzed for you to understand what SAT was testing you and what you can learn from this question. Now, is this question going to appear on the SAT again? Certainly not. So, but whatever you learn from this question, you can apply again on other questions. That's the whole point of practice. So, what are the takeaways from this? Now, the first takeaway is, whenever I see the number of, like the high number of infections, that's always singular. Okay, now I certainly want an answer from at least some of you. The number of is always singular is one grammar learning. The number of visitors to the Taj Mahal, which is an important monument in India, is increasing or are increasing? Please answer, is or are? Just type is or are in the chat box. Is, wonderful. Why is it is? Because the subject is the number, which is always singular. Okay, now there's more. Analysis means I have to learn everything I can from this question. A number of is always plural. Oh, really? What is the meaning of a number of? A number of students have enrolled for this course. Here that means several, many. Yeah, okay. So a number of students have benefited from our expertise. Okay, not has, because a number of is always plural. Now there's one more learning here. The word visitors is plural. I'm sure you will agree. So is the word students. It's also plural. But we do not look at these words when we decide whether the verb is singular or plural. I'm looking at the word before the word of. What part of speech is of, students? Can anyone tell me? The word of. What part of speech is it? It's a preposition. Okay. So in general, the word coming after the preposition is not going to decide whether the verb is singular or plural. You have to look at the word, usually you have to look at the word coming before the preposition. And here, the number, so singular. A number, so plural. So am I making sense? Please say yes or no. Thank you, Hiba. Okay, now let's apply this rule to this question. The bouquet of flowers smells sweet or smells sweet? Please type the answer. Smell or smells? Smells. Very good, Alia. What smells sweet? What is the subject? What's the subject? Quick. What's the subject? What smells sweet? What smells sweet? What is the subject of the verb of the bouquet, which is singular? Wonderful. Now try the next one. Do I need has or have here? In the second sentence, a high concentration of radioactive chemicals has or have been found in the drinking water at the complex Heba. Why have? What is the subject? What is the subject? Has. Yes. The subject is? What is the subject? What has been found in the drinking water? No. If it is chemicals, then it will be have. What has been found? A high concentration has been found. Why is it not chemicals? Chemicals comes after the word of, which is a, what is of? What is the name? Like what is the part of speech? Of is a preposition. Great. So please take a screenshot if you wish to. I will delete all this. Please take a screenshot of these grammar takeaways if you wish to. So you can understand what was the point. What am I trying to tell you? If you analyze a question, whether you get it right or wrong is secondary, you can learn so much. Do you agree? Please say yes if you agree that you can learn a lot from analysis. Do you agree? Yes. So we learned so much from this simple question, which you can say, I got it right. Yeah, but will you get a similar question right? Or a question which looks different but is testing a similar concept? No, I need to know these rules for that. Okay. So now, okay, I think, yeah. So I think we're going to have a guest now back with us. Ume, do you want to come back into the discussion? Ume, you have something to say? Hello? Is Ume there? Hello? Yeah, you're there.
I think. Sorry, ma'am, I just got stuck for a minute. All right. So, hey there, guys. Sorry to interrupt your class. We'll get back to all of your questions again. But before that, I hope you all are finding this session helpful and that you're enjoying. I am certainly enjoying Lalita ma'am's class today. So basically, just to interrupt for a while, I would like to take you through what we offer at LEAP and why you should choose our SET program. So most of you all are at a position in life where, you want to look forward to your future and your admissions. And how do we get you there? How do we get you your perfect SET score? So first of all, we provide customizable class timings. What this means is that you can choose any particular hour of the day that's comfortable to you for your SET classes, with one-on-one sessions and 75 plus hours of live classes. What this means is that all of our classes will be one-on-one and they're going to be live classes. These are not recorded. So you get to, interact with our faculty members lifetime, and you'll be able to, achieve much more and, understand the concept much more easier, since these are one-on-one and personalized sessions. Moving on to the next slide. Yes, so personalized study plan. So I know, since I mostly relate to your situation, that most of us do make a study plan, but then we don't really follow it. So our faculty is here who's going to make your personalized study plan that covers up the entire syllabus and makes sure that you do follow it and that you complete it beforehand, with unlimited question and answer sessions. So basically, it takes a lot, right, to prepare for your studies, and you come up with a lot of doubts about why this is so or why this is not so. But we'll have unlimited question and answer sessions no matter what time of the day it is. If you have a doubt regarding your SETs, you can ping any of the faculty members and they'll be there for you with 10,000 plus practice questions. So what better way to actually prepare for your exam than to actually practice? I think in the beginning of this webinar, ma'am had asked what it takes to, do better in your exams, and someone had said practice. So the best way to practice SETs is practice its questions, and we have 10,000 of them waiting for you. Moving to the next slide. Yes. So there's much more to offer. 20 plus practice tests with detailed feedback by faculty is also going to be available. All of these practice tests are, proctored, and they are very in depth. So these are SET practice tests, exactly how the SET tests look like. So it'll be very easy for you to prepare for your SETs, because you'll get a hold of the time as well, the time management, or how well you actually perform in the real test, with lifetime access to recordings of all of our live classes. So each of our classes is live, but then we also record them and upload them after the class is over. So anytime you want to go brush up your concepts again, or you're stuck somewhere and you want to rewind, you can obviously go to the portal and see your recordings, and you're going to have a lifetime access of it. So let's just say you're doing an August attempt, but then you're taking an August attempt, and then you're also planning on giving the December attempt, and you still want to go back, but your course is finished. So you can always come back to our recordings and go through your concepts. Having said all of that, I think that sums up. Okay. One last point that I missed is the revision session. So this is something we're very happy to provide. Before your attempt, our faculty sit with you and we revise the entire syllabus, brush up every concept, so that before you enter that exam hall, you're very well confident that you're going to achieve your dream score. The pricing for the same is written on your screen. And having said and summed all of this up, there is a poll that I would like to launch. It basically asks you if you would like to register for ICT program. And for all those who are interested in registering right away, you can type your names in the chat box. My team will take it up and we'll contact you ASAP, or you could just give your answers in the poll. So it's just going to take like 1 second of your time, and then I'll let you get back to your classes. Okay. Guys, it's a yes or no question. It's literally going to take just like 1 second. Even if the answer is no, or if the answer is not sure, you can still give in your poll. It's valuable to us. Okay, I'll give you all 10 seconds to answer the poll. I hope you all can see it on your screen, because I'm not receiving answers.
Talia has typed something, but I'm not sure what it is in response.
Yes. Okay. Okay, guys, it's literally just going to take 1 second, one click. Yes, no, or not sure. Yeah. One of you answered the poll. Thanks for reverting back. What about the rest of you all? And then I'll let you get back to your questions. Okay. I think with that, we can move on further to our next question. Thank you so much, ma'am, and thank you so much, guys.
Thank you, Ume. So are you ready to continue, guys? Now this is my poll. Shall I continue with Harry Potter's tips? Are they making sense to you? Now I need a yes. Thank you, Alia. God bless you. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, Ume, you had something more.
Oh, yes. Okay. So I'm just going to jump back in. So basically, Leap's Discord server is here. So we've had a lot of requests recently in the past about having a Discord channel for our SCT programs. So what do we provide at Leap's Discord? And this is absolutely free, guys. I will be sending the link in the chat box after I complete the site. So basically, at our Discord server, you will get in touch with our team. All of our faculty members are going to be present. You can interact with them on Discord. You can interact with your fellow students who are also preparing for ICTs. And that's going to help you, right? So like once you start communicating and making friends who are, in pursuit of the same goal, it does help, right? You'll understand, interact, more questions, more SAT, syllabus discussions and stuff. So all of that happens on Discord with doubt solving channels. So we've created different channels on our server where we are going to have real-time questions, real-time doubt solving. So you can join our Discord server. And to do that, I'll be sending the link right now in your chat box. Just give me 1 second. And Discord channel will help you like long term as well, because I'm not sure if I just posted it. Yeah. Discord channel will help you long time. because we all get to interact over there. So yeah, it's just gonna take like a click. You can just click and it'll redirect you to the spot and you can join our channel there. All right. Having said that, just a reminder again, we can give you a poll right now as well. Thank you so much.
So much, Ume, for that really valuable, awesome information. Now, Harry Potter has not given up. He's still persisting in giving them tips. And I'm going to continue class. So he's got the fourth tip here. What should I do when many things are changing? What do you mean many things are changing? Changing where? Let's look at this question. Now I'm going to go faster because we've become smarter at the SAT questions now. So let's do this fast. This is a writing and language question. So first step is to read. So let me read. Many of us use the words talk and speak interchangeably, but in reality, there are some differences in the way these words are used. Sounds fine to me. So should I just say, okay, A? No. What should I do? I should compare answer choices. What's changing in the answer choices, students? You will have to answer now. What's changing in the answer choices? How many things are changing in the answer choices? At least tell me that. What is changing or how many things are changing in the answer choices? You can see. Am I audible? Yes? Can you all hear me? Yeah. So how many things are changing in the answer choices? I think maybe I'm not able to see the chat box. Give me a second. No answers yet. So you can see two things changing, can't you? Three. Okay, wonderful. But okay, three things. I agree. Basically, let's focus on the important ones. I can see one thing, there versus there, correct? And I can see interchangeable and interchangeably. So when many things are changing, what should you do? Okay, this may be a simpler question. There could be more complex questions where many things are changing simultaneously. So the tip is focus on one thing at a time. So what should I focus on? What's easy, there or there? What do I want? With an apostrophe or without? Now I need your answer. Do I want there with an apostrophe or without? Which there do I want? They are homophones, they sound similar. I want there. Very good, Alia. So what can I do? I can eliminate C and D. I don't care what else is changing in them because of the word there with an apostrophe. Oh, I've got A and B. Now my there problem is solved, but now I will focus on the other aspect. Do I want interchangeable or interchangeably? You can put BLE or BLY. No change is the answer. Wonderful. So B is wrong because many of us use the words interchangeably. The word use is a verb and interchangeably is an adverb which modifies the word use. So how do we use these words? Interchangeably. We can't use an adjective here. So B is wrong. A is correct. Now, what was my point? What did I want to tell you here? When many things are changing, focus on one thing at a time. Why should I? I got the answer when I just saw the question. No, students, that is again getting complacent. So many times students say, I've done amazingly well on the SAT. I will surely get a 750 plus out of 800. But sometimes they don't get that score which they expect on the English section. They may get a 620. You say, why? That's because you jumped to conclusions. You pounced on answers. You just decided that this looks right. But you should never ever change the strategy. Eliminate the wrong ones. Focus on one thing at a time. A little slower and steadier will result in higher accuracy. The more the number of correct answers, the higher your score. So don't forget, always focus on one thing to eliminate the answer choices. Then go to the next part. Did you understand? It's a small learning, but a valuable learning. Okay, what about tip 5? How many correct answers? What does that mean? Harry Potter, please reveal whatever secret you have. Let's look at this. Okay, now this is a writing and language question. I have to read the sentence, right? With the underlined part. So let me just read Maybe, oh, this is a long sentence. Okay. Italy's Tower of Pisa has been leaning southward since its construction over 800 years ago. Okay. Indeed, if the tower's construction hadn't taken 2 centuries and involved significant breaks, the tower would have collapsed before it was completed. Sounds fine, but I should follow strategy. Compare answer choices. What's changing in the answer choices, students? Okay, I think, Alia, have you given me the answer? Great. What's changing in the answer choices? Quickly answer these questions. We'll follow strategy. Let's not be complacent. What's changing in the answer choices? Words are changing. What kind of words are these? What kind of words are these? All these words are joining words, also called transition words. Now listen, whenever I see a transition word changing in a sentence, in a question, I should ignore the transition word and see how the ideas 1 and 2 are connected. How are these ideas related? So let's look at how these ideas are related. What is SAT testing me on? It's asking me which transition word will be best suited to join 1 and 2 or link 1 and 2. So the first idea says it's leaning southward since its construction. And the second idea says if it had not taken 2 centuries, it would have collapsed. Now, are these ideas contrasting with each other? No, they are not contrasting with each other. So what can I eliminate here? What can I eliminate here? There is no contrast between ideas 1 and 2. What answer choices can I eliminate? C and one more. Very, very similar to C is D. Both these transitions show contrast and they are used very similarly. They are always used with a comma after them. Okay, so they are adverbs. You don't need to know that, but you need to know that these transitions indicate contrast and they are used in a very similar way grammatically. And you cannot have 2 correct answers on the SAT, only 1 correct answer. So I can't have 2 similar answers which perform a similar function. So C and D are clearly wrong. Now between A and B, are 1 and 2 linked with cause and effect? Is this a cause and is this an effect that it has been leaning southward is the cause and the construction took 2 centuries and etc. It would have collapsed? No, there is no cause and effect. So what can I eliminate? Therefore, because therefore shows cause and effect or a conclusion. So it is neither. So my answer is A. Great. So we used elimination. We also used the fact that there's only 1 correct answer to eliminate 2 similar sounding options which also perform a similar function, right? Not sounding really, 2 similar options performing similar functions used in the same way. When do I use indeed? What is the application of indeed? What do I mean by indeed? We use it to emphasize a point. Okay. So to emphasize and add something further supporting the previous sentence, we can use the word indeed, and that suits perfectly here. So the point I was trying to make with this slide was whenever you see like nevertheless and however, which perform almost identical sentences, functions on a question, please eliminate both of them. You can't have 2 correct answers. Got it? Can I go on to the next tip? Okay, tip 6. Understand what the question is testing. Okay. What do I mean by that? Now, let's look at the question here. What should I do first? I have to read, right? Okay, let me read. Perfect. Yes, you got the strategy. So let me read. You can also read along with me. Some people buy organic food because they believe organically grown crops are more nutritious and safer for consumption than the people who purchase their conventionally grown counterparts, which are usually etc. etc. Fine. Now the next step is compare. When I compare, what's changing in the answer choices? What's changing in the answer choices? Words are changing. What kind of words? What kind of words are changing? Some students think purchase, purchasing. If they see these words, they think that verbs are changing. But actually, verbs are not changing here. Figure out what the question is testing. How do I figure it out? What is the question actually testing? Can you see more nutritious, safer than? So what is this? What's happening in this sentence? When do we use more than? We use it for? I'm looking at the chat box for your answers. Comparison, perfect. We use it for comparison. So now what am I comparing? What are the two things A and B which are being compared? They believe what is more nutritious and safer. What is A here? What is more nutritious and safer for consumption? What is A? Organic food, organically grown crops is A. Very good. It is safer for consumption than the people. Can I compare crops and people? No, that's a faulty comparison. You can't compare apples with oranges. You have to compare apples with apples, oranges with oranges. So what should I do now? I can eliminate. Which answer choice can I eliminate? I can eliminate A right away because we shouldn't compare crops with people, not fair to the people or to the crops. Okay, can I compare organically grown crops with the purchase? Purchase is a noun here, no, so I can eliminate B. Similarly, purchasing, all of them are wrong. I don't even have the word crops here. Well, if you have eliminated A, B, and C, what do I have left? I have only D left. And it says, delete the underlying portion. Okay. If I delete it, what happens? They are more nutritious and safer for consumption than their conventionally grown counterparts. What do you mean by conventionally grown counterparts? Counterparts here stands for the word crops, right? Conventionally grown is without the use of organic methods. So this is the answer. Perfect. Very good answer. Yes, crops. So after elimination, I am left with D. Now, what was the point of this? Understand what the question is testing. If I understand what the question is testing, then my answer becomes easier to find. Do you agree with me? So always ask yourself this question. What is this question testing me on? I hope this added some value to your SAT prep. Did this help you, this point, whatever I told you now? Please understand what the question is testing. This is a very, very important step. Always ask yourself what the question is testing. Okay, now, very less time left. What should I do? Well, that's true for me also. I don't have very much time left. So what should I do? Well, I'm going to finish tip 7, that I'm sure of. So let's go on. I have very less time. Maybe you have 1 minute left out of your 35 minutes in the writing and language section. Okay. So you have 1 minute left and you have question 8 and 9 to finish. Which will you choose? Quickly, I want an answer. 8 or 9? Just type in the chat box. 8 or 9? Which question will you do? You just have 1 minute. 9. Why? Why? Because 9 has fewer words to read. Perfect. Yes, shorter. Shorter means take faster, higher chance of getting it right. So it's not necessary that you should do questions in the order they appear. Mostly you will do that on the writing and language section. You will do questions in the order they come. But when you're constrained for time, just ignore the longer one and jump to the shorter, because shorter questions take less time. I'm not going to do these questions now. I just wanted your opinion about shorter is sweeter. More words means more time. Now, we know this, but someone has to kind of put it as a strategy to us. You don't have to go in the order that questions come. Okay. So with that, Harry Potter's magic, do you think it'll work? the tips that you have learned? Do you think they can work magic? Most of these are very valuable tips. Try to remember and apply them the next time you take a test. And the magic, yes, will work and give you scores close to 1540 or whatever your dream score is. Okay. So for many more tips and strategies like this, keep coming to our master classes, or you could also, we'll ask Ume what else she can suggest. Ume, would you like to enter our room? Yes.
Yes. So, guys, we are already at the end of the webinar and discussing questions. So hope you all had fun today at our webinar, and quickly discussing our mentorship programs, right? So basically we have 3 kinds of mentorship programs, and what do the programs actually stand for? So, like we discussed in the beginning of this webinar as well, the kind of colleges you're applying to or the kind of field you're looking into, you must need some guidance or someone who can actually provide you the proper path of reaching your dream college or your dream destination. So exactly for that, we have 3 kinds of mentorship programs. First is the Ivy Advising Program, specifically for those who are looking into Ivy League colleges. There are 7 Ivy League colleges in the world, one of the top universities. Then there's Global Advising Program, which covers almost all of the countries and all the institutes, whether US, Canada, or UK. And then we have the Elite Advising Program, which is similar to the Global Advising Program, but has a few different applications than the Global Advising Program. So these are the 3 mentorship programs. If you need the details of the same, you can register, or you can just tell that you need the details in the chat box. You can just type in your name and let us know if you would like to know the further details of these programs. Moving on to the next slide. Yes, so undergraduate counseling. So basically, I will give a brief of what we do at our counseling. So first is profile building. So like I said, and I mentioned in the beginning of the webinar as well, 50% academics, 50% extracurricular. Your profile is exactly who you are overall, not just your marks. That is something the universities look into, and we help you build that sort of profile. We get you online courses, extracurricular, sports. We also help you with internships and volunteering work that help build the profile. Find out which colleges are best suited for you, right? That is so important. You must be confused. There are like thousands of colleges to choose from. Which one is best suited for you is something that we help you with. Personal statement, letter of recommendations, and supplemental essays, as well as SOPs. So basically, your universities do ask for your SOPs and your personalized essays before your admission. And if you're looking for abroad admissions, your SOPs carry a lot of weightage in your profile. So we help you with that. We help you edit them. We help give advice on how it can be better. And we also help you with letter of recommendations. Advice on scholarship and financial guidance is so important because abroad education can be a little bit on the expensive side. So for everyone who's looking into scholarships, who's looking for financial guidance, our counselors sit with you, provide you with a list, help you get those scholarships, also help you get the financial aid that you do require for your further studies abroad, with visa assistance of documentation and mock interviews. So basically, like I mentioned, before you apply to your abroad universities, you'll have to go through mock interviews, through visa documentation. Our team helps you with all of that as well. We have mock interviews with you, as well as we document the entire procedure that is required before you apply for your visa. So you're all set to apply for your universities. That's what our undergraduate counseling looks like. Just to introduce you to one of our counselors, it's Aryan. She is a graduate from Harvard University herself. I'm pretty sure you must have heard of the name Harvard. It's an Ivy League college and one of the top ranked universities in the world. She is also an alumni of Georgetown University, which again is in the top 20 universities that belong to the global list. So Aryan is one of our counselors who can definitely help you reach your college. Some of our students have been admitted to these colleges that are listed on your screen. So of course, you might be asking whether we are capable of getting you to your dream college. And let me assure you that we are 100% capable of doing that. Our students have been admitted to Ivy League colleges like Yale, like Cornell, Wharton. Our students are also studying at New York University, UC San Diego, Berkeley, Carnegie, Duke, Emory, University of Michigan, USC, that's University of Southern California. Again, all of these universities are top 25 universities in the world. So you do understand the kind of quality that we provide at Elite. And yeah, having said all of that, and before I move on to the next slide, there is a poll that I would like to launch. It's basically about admission counseling, whether you would like to join our admission counseling program or not. You can also let me know in the chat box. You can list down your name so that we understand that you want to join us. And what if you don't achieve your dream score, right? You must have that doubt. Like, what if in the first attempt that you're giving and the course that you're taking, you don't achieve it? Don't worry, because we also has a quality assurance program. We will provide extra 10 plus hours of free academic training to all of you after your attempt if you do not succeed in the first attempt. And we also will have sessions from the crash course that are going to be absolutely free. So you don't have to worry if you don't achieve your dream score. You can book a free demo with us, and discount is also available. Our coupon code is written on the screen. You can connect to us directly on the number that is written on your screen. It's +9715015012220. See you there in our next session, which happens on Saturday. See you there on in our Saturday webinar, as well as see you there in our UG counseling program or in our SAT program. Have a good night, guys, and please keep taking care of yourselves.
Thank you so much, all of you. Thank you, May.